Good Morning Lompoc. Hey.
We're looking really pro now.
Hey, we're trying. What episode is this for us? Is this 5?
This is episode 5.
Episode 5. We made it that far.
Yeah, made it through 15 days of shelter in place so far, and now we've only got another 30 to go and maybe 6 more months. So who knows how many of these episodes we're going to produce from here on out.
Whew. Thank you guys for joining us. It's awesome to hang out here with you guys. We added a little intro, as you noticed, with some cool music. That music is from one of my favorite local artists, Jacob Cole. A lot of you are familiar with his music, and I look forward to introducing a lot of you to his music and his talent over the next several shows. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
We have a packed show. Hopefully we can get through this in half an hour. We may have to go over a minute or two. But
no, I'll try to cut Jeremy off as much as I can.
I talk a lot.
God, he's so wordy. Yeah. But we want to say a big thank you to all the doctors, the nurses, everybody in healthcare, just working their butts off right now to keep us safe, and they're definitely taking on way more than all of us at home are doing.
Yeah. It's kind of getting to that place too where it's the coronavirus, we've seen it have a pretty crazy impact in other places, and we're starting to see some of the numbers go up here a little bit.
But California is doing a pretty good job.
There was some good news yesterday that California seems to be flattening the curve.
Hopefully that's real.
Hopefully. So keep up that physical and social distancing.
And that's not April Fool's, by the way. So,
no, it's important. We learned something yesterday. It's a good piece of advice that I'll pass on. If you do need to go to the grocery store, don't make it a full family outing. It's important to protect ourselves. So just send one person, follow all the rules, and hopefully we can get through this with not too big of a mark on us. But it's going to be tough. So anyway, the reason we are doing this show is to keep our heads up and try to stay upbeat under the circumstances and talk about our community. Yeah.
And also a big thank you to everybody still working at the grocery store, at banks, at Walmart.
Anyone touching, not touching, but anyone that has to work in retail or always there, it's so much more of a risk than some of us that get to hunker down at home. Yeah. So keep them all in your...
We really haven't left our house at all.
And if you're out there shopping, and I know things can get really frustrating, don't take it out on people that are working. They're putting themselves in harm's way to try to help us.
Thank you to all the teachers. We know that you've had to do a lot to change up your curriculum and rework how you communicate. And there's just so much cool stuff from that I've been seeing on Facebook and Instagram of teachers posting their little Zoom conferences. This was a cool one from Manzanita. This is from Jenny Kleindens. So these are all the teachers there saying, "Dear scholars, we miss you so very much and want you to know you are loved." So that was pretty awesome too.
That's awesome. Super cool.
Yeah. And then thank you to our farmers. Our farmers are awesome here in Lompoc, and we're so lucky to have access to good local produce, especially organic produce.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's something else really cool about Lompoc is it's not a crazy seasonal place where we get snow or we get, crazy storms, but we get moderate weather, which just grows the heck out of vegetables and wine grapes and all kinds of things. So we're really thankful to our local farmers.
And we saw a cool update. Many of you might have already seen this from Dare to Dream Farms. So their farm stand, as we know, has been opened, and they've brought in mushrooms as well and local honey from other farmers, and supplementing what they have so that you have a bigger selection. They're also going to be keeping all their eggs local now,
really cool.
They used to ship a lot to Santa Barbara and Los Angeles, so those are staying local. And then there's going to be fresh bread, and they're also going to be having a person on site who's going to be able to help you with your groceries in case you don't want to get out of your car, you don't want to touch anything. So there's somebody there to help in case you want to stay in your cars, basically, which is really neat.
And we're going to talk to the folks at Dare to Dream Farms over the next week or so.
Basically, we want to use their kids because they're so cute. And we don't have any kids, and it's too late now to go and rent one. And
it is too expensive. We're trying to cut back on our.
But God, if we had some cute kids, we'd be using them a lot on this show. But we don't.
Just to start GoFundMe's and get money. Maybe.
Yeah. So hopefully, donate your kids to us. Donate their videos. No. Their faces. Just never mind. Okay. But speaking of farmers and local produce, there's a lot of cilantro out there right now, and I've been getting lots in my CSA box, and just wanted to kind of transport myself mentally to a different place. So I did a twist on a technically a Thai-style larb recipe, but not for all the authentic folks who are out there who are going to call me out for not
Don't
using
call
things
her
like
out.
lemongrass and kefir. This is my own fun take on it, and it's just a really refreshing dish. So here's that recipe. Today we're going to be doing Thai ground turkey with a cilantro and mint dressing. This dish is really about fresh herbs and chilies and flavor. So we're going to start with fresh mint and chili de arbol or Thai chilies, cilantro, garlic and fresh ginger, agave nectar, good fish sauce, a half a cup of fresh lime juice, and 1 green onion. Take a clove of fresh garlic and about a half a tablespoon of fresh ginger and smash that up. Add about a half tablespoon of agave nectar. Add your garlic ginger mixture, your chilies and mint. I just used 1 because I'm a wuss. Your diced green onion, about a quarter cup of fresh cilantro, half a cup of fresh lime juice, which is about 3 limes. Mix that together and then add your fish sauce. I added 2 tablespoons and went back and maybe added a few more dashes. Mix that together and then taste for seasoning. You can add a little bit more chili if you like or more fish sauce. Next, we're going to toast our rice. So taking about a quarter cup of white rice, heat a skillet over medium heat and toast for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's just slightly browned. And then ground your rice to a powder in a spice grinder. Next, take a pound of ground turkey, brown that up and season. Once it's fully cooked through, add it to a bowl, add 2 tablespoons of your rice flour, and then add your mint cilantro chili mixture to that. Mix that together, and then serve it with romaine lettuce cups and sticky rice.
So, before she says anything about
I was going to run in and grab my fish sauce to show you. That's like my favorite part.
Fish sauce. You have to use really good fish sauce.
The good stuff. So Red Boat is my favorite.
Red Boat.
And other fish, so all fish sauce will probably make you gag a little when you smell it just directly.
By itself.
But the Red Boat is tolerable. And when you taste it, it's just like this umami sort of goodness in your face. And they do typically sell it at Central Coast Specialty Foods. So you can get it hopefully from them still. It's been a couple.
They're going to sell out today based on this recipe. So what I like about this recipe is, I don't know, most of the time get ground turkey, you're so disappointed. It just doesn't have the complexity and the flavor and all of the savoriness that maybe beef or lamb or pork can give you.
Jeremy wants bacon every day.
If I could. But with turkey, of course you can season the heck out of it, but adding this fresh garlic and these herbs and this little bit of citrus and all those elements, oh my God, when you taste the turkey, it blows away a lot of other meats just because.
But that dressing on its own is just really good. And I think I don't think I put the exact amount, and it's kind of to taste. So if you're not a wuss, you can add more chilies. Basil's great, but they were sold out everywhere. But mint, basil, cilantro, those are kind of your little trifecta of herbs for that dish.
Definitely.
So it's really good. And it transports the senses, I should say. So take a little break. Anyways, there's also some really cool art around town. We were showing off a lot of the chalk drawings on Monday that people did over the weekend.
They kept it going. So thank you guys for sending us a few extra clips. We want to keep sharing that. You can do this any day, any week of the year. Just get outside, paint your sidewalk with some chalk. Draw.
Miss Elia had one that I forgot to share, but I just loved her quote. She said this. She's 7, I think. The best way to make people smile is to make your drawing smile so that they smile, which I just thought was awesome.
Like, how brilliant is that?
Well, she is brilliant. So, and then Darren and Caitlin, they got outside with their daughter Taylor, and I think they were trying to teach Common Core math, or maybe Taylor was teaching Common Core math.
Taylor tends to teach. She's she's an old soul. So
yeah.
to speak,
so I think this was her way of showing her parents how Common Core math works. So check it out. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Uh-oh.
Oh.
Hold on. 1 second.
We're going to drag it in. So in the meantime, another shout out to CrossFit Ohana. The reason we keep showing stuff with Darren and Taylor and Caitlin is because they're some of our closest friends and they've kept us sane during some of these crazy times. Here we go. Yeah, cool. So, folks out there, we're hopeful that as you do stuff, fun stuff with your kids or with your parents, that remember to film it, send lots of clips, and we'll put something fun together and maybe share it on our show. So, if you guys have ideas, look for some inspiration, and let's try to get it on Good Morning Lompoc and get our citizens excited about this little town.
And do you want to mention the lion?
Oh yeah.
Painting?
So I had this idea. Oh, it's not my idea. I had nothing to do with it. Some brilliant person painted the back of their house that kind of was up against an alley. So it's a new mural in Lompoc that just popped up. I took a small clip of it, but in the future, I'm hopeful that Michelle and I will maybe work on a little driving tour. So, for fun, throw your family in the car and you can cruise around. We'll put a map together of where you can go and see really cool artwork. So under the circumstances, might be something kind of fun to get out of the house.
Yep.
Check it out.
I'm going to put it on right now, and then we might have one more technical difficulty so I can fix something. All right. So. Isn't that rad? That is by Nancy
Can you
Yaki.
play it again just so that it's such a short clip, but yeah.
Let's play that again.
Nancy Yaki.
That's
Check
so
that out.
Cool.
This is like 2 or 3 blocks from our house. We live kind of over on the southwest side of town. Anyway, so if you're curious to go see that, I'm not going to put the address up live for everyone, but just send us a quick message or ask us a question and I'll tell you where it's at so you can sneak over.
All right, I fixed it.
Okay.
We're still learning this software.
So thank you, Lompoc, for being amazing artists.
Did you hear about the fact that we might all have to wear masks soon?
I did.
That was kind of tough.
We've been watching other countries do this for a long time. It might be coming down.
Yeah, but they're saying, they don't want us to obviously wear N95s because those are reserved for healthcare workers and people who really, really need it. So they're trying to get us to make our own masks. I saw this morning on the New York Times. How to sew your own face mask, which I thought was interesting because, who has...
This isn't fake news. This is actually New York Times. Yeah, if you're curious, go check it out. We're muted there. So we don't have a sewing machine.
No. So we thought that we'd try out these masks and see.
I think mine might work, but I'm a little bit worried about yours because the whole.
I was so excited.
The whole mouth area is not covered. I
had it. This whole thing was just not working. So, yeah, make sure that your mask works. Make sure it covers your mouth and your nose, and don't use these. Should we wear these for the rest of the show?
No, I don't think so. But just for fun, we did get these masks in Mexico on a trip to Guadalajara, and our friends who were hosting us took us to what do they call it? Nacho Libre? Libre?
Maybe it's that's the movie.
Oh, that's the movie. Sorry. Anyway, it was great wrestling, and we had so much fun. I cannot.
I feel like I should wear this the rest of the show.
I'm gonna
if I should wear this for the rest of the show, you guys should let me know.
It's Michelle. If you guys are
do you want to introduce
sure.
Maybe some of the more serious, important stuff that we should be thinking about?
Yeah, where are we going? So should we go to? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set this up. Rob, I meant to send this to you. I didn't get a chance because we were burning the midnight oil. But our good friend and attorney, Rob Traylor, awesome guy here in town, him and his wife, Virginia. Virginia actually is the one who originally started Yoga V. Very cool people.
Oh, it's Lucha Libre.
Lucha Libre, that's right. Anyway, Rob Traylor helped us. We kind of got to know him. He was on Economic Development Committee with me and a few other things. And he became our lawyer and helped us set up our corporation for our little tiny business of 2. Anyway, he's a great guy. And I thought, there's so much uncertainty and some probably questions are going to start popping up. And I just wanted to put him out there, and I had a quick conversation with him, and he offered a lot of just some insight and some tips. And I know it's kind of awkward sometimes to think about stressful things, but hopefully this content will give you some ideas. And if you're curious about some of that, reach out to Rob. He's really great, very thoughtful, and very helpful. So enjoy this conversation.
Yep.
My name is Rob Traylor. I'm the principal for the Law Office of Robert Traylor. This is a professional corporation. I've been an attorney for about 4 years. The bulk of what I do is estate planning, business advising, bankruptcy, and real estate. And I've been in Lompoc for, nearly 14, 15 years. And we stay here because, number one, the weather is great. The traffic is light. A lot of people know a lot of people. And that can be helpful when, it's reassuring to see a friendly face. And there's a lot of small business owners that kind of keep this town going, and we really like it.
How is the coronavirus and its impact affecting your business and how you operate?
Santa Barbara County stopped holding virtually all but emergency cases for a couple of weeks. That may be extended. But then the second part of your question, how has it impacted my business? I know over the weekend I spent a lot of time figuring out, okay, how am I going to overhaul this process to where instead of, come to my office, we'll sit in my conference room for our meeting. It's all right, well, we're going to meet on Zoom, or we're going to meet on the phone, and we're going to have to share documents electronically as opposed to having them in hand. I've stopped all in-person meetings with the exception of those where we're executing documents that have to be notarized.
If you want to elaborate or kind of go through a couple of those things that you feel like maybe specifically for Lompoc or just in general, these are some things that people might be at least asking themselves. And
so far as impacts from the virus, if you get sick and you need someone to act on your behalf, have you designated someone to do that? Do you have a durable power of attorney? Do you have an advanced healthcare directive and a healthcare agent named for someone who can make those decisions where you may not be able to do that because you've become incapacitated?
Can you elaborate a tiny bit on, it's not to say that the worst case will always happen, but what are some of those impacts that can happen if someone doesn't plan, and for certain instances?
If you just have a significant other and there's no legal relationship there, are they going to be able to just handle your affairs? Probably not. Right. If it's, and nobody cares that you've been together for 20 years. There's no such thing as common law marriage in California. So, do you have someone that could take care of you or handle your affairs in the event you can't?
But yeah, if you had a closing message or anything, it's, yeah.
Yes, we're socially distanced from each other, but I think that the overwhelming majority of folks are just a phone call away. I got a call from someone whose spouse just passed away, I think a couple days ago, and it's sad, like it's always sad when you lose a spouse. But here it was like insult to injury because they were trying to figure out how are we going to plan a memorial service or celebration of life to interment, however you'd like, when we can't have large gatherings. How are you going to console the grieving widow when you're not supposed to come within 6 feet from each other? So it's like, it's tough, but hang in there. Maintain the relationships you have, and where you don't know how to do something and you need the service of a professional, and I'm not just talking about an attorney, reach out to those people, because I don't know how to do everything. When I don't know, I call somebody and I rely on that external expertise.
Anyway, thank you, Rob, for that great
really
conversation. And we talked about several other things, and down the road we'll maybe talking about a couple other topics that you could be helpful on and give some insight. But at least for right now, anyway, don't mean to put fear or stress on anyone, but planning is super important.
And
he's been so helpful. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Rob Traylor Law. Check that out when you can. And if you need some help, give him a shout. Okay.
So one of the things I've been reading a lot about is that everybody's saying that April Fool's should be canceled. And it was, and I get it. Nobody wants any messed up jokes. But every year I've messed with my mom. It's my favorite holidays. Pastime.
Christmas, maybe second or third.
And
April
every
Fool's,
time I get
favorite.
her and she falls for it. And in the past, I've done things like sending her somebody else's, what's the snapshot when you find out you're pregnant? I've sent that to her and put our name on it. Man. And she's gotten so excited for grandkids.
Sorry, Karen.
And then other times when I was much younger and a lot, maybe more self-centered. I called her late at work on April Fool's and told her I'd gotten a DUI and I was in jail, and she had to come pick me up in Santa Barbara, and we lived in Solvang, and it was just awful. So I messed with my mom a lot. And so this year I wanted to mess with her, and I called her this morning and I recorded it, and I'd forgotten, I didn't realize that the other side of the phone wasn't recording on my computer. It was some privacy issue. So there's basically a long recording of me and my face talking to myself. So I had to do something, and she refused to play along and just enact it. So I called my sister, and I also had some technical difficulties because I only got the audio this time, but it still kind of worked a little bit. Hello?
Did you mean to call me?
Yes. Sorry. Are you just waking up?
Yeah, I'm just fine.
So do you have your computer in front of you?
No, but what do you need?
Can you go to CNN.com?
Okay.
Our show was featured on there this morning from Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Way. Go check it out.
Okay, well, do you need me to do it right now?
Right now.
Okay.
So excited.
Oh, my computer's right here.
I guess it was early.
Oh, how cool is that?
I
Is
know.
there going to be something funny or something that's going to come up? Or?
Yeah, no, it's like the whoopee cushion little bit with like the chipmunks and stuff.
Oh, they heard the whoopee cushion bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're talking about sponsorships, and they're going to be putting us on as a regular potential.
No way. Are you lying?
No.
April freaking Fools. Shut up.
Oh.
Stupid. You ruined it.
Oh, thank you, Nicole, for playing along.
Yeah, you're pretty awesome.
I am so bummed. My Aunt Mary was my third. What? I didn't see that coming.
I tricked her. She so deserves it for all of those times she put her mom through suffering that I pulled one over on Michelle. And you are welcome, Lompoc. She deserves it.
I totally thought that was him.
Sorry, we're having fun here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
kind of in wrapping up, we're going to be speaking with the mayor as well in future episodes. Janelle.
Can I
say
that?
Please.
So we had a chance to have a great conversation with our mayor of Lompoc, Jenelle Osborne. She spent a considerable amount of time kind of going through some of the details, and we look forward to kind of putting together a very substantial interview where you get a lot of information that helps our community. We have a quick little teaser, just a reminder from her about what makes this community really great. So we'll play that real quick. Thank you, Mayor Jenelle Osborne.
I think for me, I chose Lompoc, one of the things I find about it is the pioneering and resilient spirit that already exists here. It was settled, yes, by those that wanted a temperance colony. And now we are the hub of both wine and cannabis. So, we're not temperance anymore, but that can-do attitude of survival, wanting something different, wanting to be able to show the world that we are independent and we will survive. And I think it already exists in us. And many of us chose this community because it felt welcoming and at home at the same time, allowing us to be independent spirits and contribute. And it's a community I still feel that any individual can make an impact in. And I see that as how we recover, is every individual in our community, no matter your age, no matter born or raised or transplant, you can make an impact, and you can choose what that is, and you'll get the support and the passion behind it. And I look forward to what everyone chooses as we come out of this to contribute back to and be an impact on our community and show how strong we are before we ever stepped into this.
Thank you, Mayor Osborne.
Thank you so much.
For joining us, and look for the slightly more extended interview on Friday. We're going to put that together and try to answer as many questions as we can. If you have questions for the mayor, other leaders, let us know. We've tried to be in contact with as many of our leaders as possible, and we're trying to get them on this show so that the audience can stay up to date on what's happening.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We got. Where are you going?
So we're getting closer to the end of our show. It goes by so quickly. We're so grateful that you guys are joining us. Remember, tell your friends, share our Lompoc community with everyone.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that I'm so excited because today is the first time that we actually had a submission.
Oh, yes. Okay. I wasn't sure where you're going with
No. So our good friend Jineanne Coderre, she's an amazing singer, songwriter. She writes original material. She's played music at Presqu'île, San Luis Obispo, lots of really great venues, and she's amazing, and she's a local here.
And just consider this like your moment of zen.
Yeah.
When I played it this morning,
Michelle started crying in the other room. I was like, what happened?
Well, I was crying because I don't have any talent musically, and so no, but seriously, it's really beautiful. So
Janine, we're hoping that we'll work something out and try to get her on one of our Friday night happy hours, which is happening this weekend. So we're going to make that happen as hopefully if we can. This is Jineanne Coderre.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you, Janine. Have a great day.
Hey, good morning, Lompoc. My name is Janine. I'm a singer, songwriter, and a dental hygienist here on the Central Coast. I've had the privilege of knowing Jeremy and Michelle for quite some time now, and I've been following them on social media and just watching them blossom. Both of them are super creative and talented, and my husband and I, we call them the dynamic duo, so I'm sure you can see why. But thank you, Jeremy and Michelle, for having me on your Good Morning Lompoc show. Just hoping to spread a little more love and positivity, especially, in the times that we're in right now. So I'm going to be playing one of my songs. This one's called Listen. Hope you guys enjoy it. No need to make things complicated. Emotion and fear overrated. One step at a time, no need to rewind. Get up, breathe in and take slow time, you will know. The feelings will show you, but don't let it consume you. Take it from me, I've been there before, you see. It's a endless ocean that rolls in so constantly. You can't deny it, you can't hide it. You just gotta keep on keeping on. Baby, keep on, 'cause I just want you to know you're better than now. Just let go, don't hold it in. Soften your voice, no need to yell and shout. Close your eyes and listen. Listen for a while. Time has brought me pain, time has brought me tears, but I'm thankful for everyone. Through each trial I've learned to dance in the rain. Feel the sun, here it comes. They're waiting to shake my ground. I'll fall, I'll break, no worries, I'll make it. Don't you worry about me, we can shake it off. I'm not the wisest one, I might be right or wrong, but if you slow down and listen, baby, listen, and then you will know you're better than now. Just let go, don't hold it in. Soften your voice, no need to yell and shout. Close your eyes and listen. Listen for a while. Listen to your heart, listen to your voice, let it guide you, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. Listen for a while.
awesome.
Thank you.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
We'll see you guys Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Stay sane, stay safe, be kind to your neighbors. Love you guys.
Love
See
you.
on Friday.
Thank you so much. Bye.